What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of Budget Banger or Bust, where I look at budget gaming mice and decide whether or not they are worth their price tag and if they match up against the best mice in the game. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the VXE V3 Pro from ATK Gear. Quick overview of the series in general. I review these mice more to see their worth as opposed to whether or not they are good mice compared to the general market. I still give a rating, but ultimately just answer, is it a banger or bust at that price point? So let's get into it, starting with the specs and the price of the mouse. The VXE V3 is a clone of the Logitech G305, which is actually the top selling product in the gaming mice category on Amazon, and it comes in at $30 at the time of recording. The VXE V3 comes in at just $20 on the ATK website and $25 on Amazon with Prime, and it sports upgrades in almost every category compared to the G305. It has a 3395 SE sensor, which is definitely a budget sensor and is closer to the 3335 than the 3395, but it is still a newer sensor than the G305. Like the G305, it goes up to 1K polling with no 4K or 8K compatibility. It's listed at 49 grams with my unit coming in at 53 grams, which is definitely higher than their deviation listed on their website, but it's still much lighter than the 99 grams of the G305. That is honestly ridiculous to be having a mouse that weighs 99 grams and selling this well in 2026, but it is cheap and reliable, so I do understand, and I guess I'm not super surprised by it. It's also worth noting that if you just search gaming mouse on Amazon, that is one of the first products to come up, and it has been reviewed a lot with high reviews, so people tend to gravitate toward that. Regardless, the VXE V3 also has the very popular Huano Blue Shell pink dot switches, which you can see in some of the top of the line mice, and it also has USB-C charging, which is very important to point out as the G305 uses one AA battery. So let's get into the specifics of the mouse, starting with the clicks, which is by far the strongest aspect of it. The click implementation is actually very good. They are snappy, spammable, and have very minimal pre- and post-travel. I honestly think that this mouse has better click implementation than some of my favorite mice that I've owned, for example, the G-Wolf's Lycan, and click feel is extremely important to me, so we're off to a very hot start with this mouse. The side buttons are not as impressive. They have plenty of post-travel, but it is worth noting that you see that on a lot of top-of-the-line mice, and it's pretty normal. Most mice don't focus on side button quality, which makes sense as I feel like other aspects of the mouse are more important, but it's definitely worth noting. The scroll wheel is a TTC silver encoder, and there isn't really anything glaringly good or bad about it. It gets the job done. It's tight and doesn't rattle, but it doesn't wow me, so it does the job just fine. Looking at the build quality and quality control, ATK knocked it out of the park. The entire base is one piece from the bottom all the way up to the side buttons. This means that there is practically zero flex, and no matter where I squeeze the mouse, there isn't any creaking. On a $20 mouse, this is extremely impressive, and I would expect a lot worse quality than what you get here at that price point. Same goes with the coating or the grip of the mouse. It is textured plastic and has really nice grip to it. I have no desire to put grips on it, and my hand doesn't slip at all during play. Shape-wise, like I said, it's a G305 clone, so it works well for claw and fingertip grips. This is definitely a polarizing shape, but the egg has been around for a while, so if you are someone who likes that shape, of course, this is going to work really well for you. I, for one, am definitely an egg enjoyer, so I loved using this mouse, and it was easy for me to get used to. It's definitely not my favorite shape, though, and it wouldn't be the first shape that I would choose in the bunch of others that I have, but it still feels great, and I do enjoy it. Lastly, and likely what you are most concerned about, the performance. Like I said, this has a 3395 SE sensor, which is closer to a 3335, which is definitely a lower performing sensor than the top of the line 3950 or just the 3395 in general. But I saw very few tracking issues while playing FPS games with this mouse. There were definitely times that I felt a slight inaccuracy in faster flicks and high intensity scenarios. This could definitely be placebo, but I recently switched from this mouse back to my WL mouse Juan, and I felt my tracking and high-speed flick accuracy was definitely better. Of course, this does make sense on a lower budget, lower performance sensor. But even though the performance may be a little bit worse, the battery life is very, very good due to the low power consumption of the sensor. So even with just a 300 milliamp hour battery, I never had to charge it while testing, which was extremely convenient. So answering the overarching question, is this mouse a banger and worth the money or a bust? And it is without a doubt a banger, a certified banger. I'm honestly so surprised by how good this mouse felt. Yes, it is a little bit heavy compared to some other top-of-the-line mice. Yes, it has a low-grade sensor that you'll probably see a little bit of fall-off on, and yes, it has higher latency than top-of-the-line mice. But for $20 to $25, I'm really not sure what more you could ask for. If ATK can market this mouse well and advertise that it is also on Amazon Prime, this could really make waves for casual gamers. If you are a more casual gamer who wants a reliable, high battery life option, definitely look at this mouse, and please do not go look at the G305. I mean, 99 grams in disposable batteries where you can't even plug it in and charge it, I think that's kind of ridiculous to have in 2026. This is a much better option, just straight up. As for the rating of this mouse, this one was tough. I'm right in between that 3.5 to 4 range, and I think I am going to go ahead and give it a 4.0 out of 5. I'm just really impressed by it. And like I said, I really do value click implementation, and this one has a very good click implementation. So I think that that does push it over the edge and get it up to that 4.0 rating. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of Budget Banger or Bust. At this price point, this mouse is going to be hard to beat. Next up is going to be another ATK mouse, the ATK Zero, which is a Pulsar X2 clone coming in at $60. Very excited to look at that one because I picked up the transparent shell version of it and it looks really clean. So I hope that the performance on it and the implementation is very good. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more content like this, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
Hey, we can fuck